we're kicking, then I can watch and give some feedback. If you want to leave it off, that's fine. But it just means that when we're doing the techniques, it'd be like more like the normal class. Okay, so we'll just wait a second, see if anybody else, and then guys, we'll start. Okay, so a lot of kicking today, working on the mobility of our hips, working on some stretching, and we're going to work on kicking from Won-Yo, Yo-Gok, Jung-Gun, and from Tae-Ge. Okay, because it's kind of all the same idea. Okay, side kicks, front kicks. So, guys, we'll start off with some mobility work. Okay, so guys, if we all start on the ground, okay, so we just sit down, we push your chest out, we sit tall, you just put your hands down, you just switch your feet, and then you push back up. Every time you switch, don't like and sink down low, head to the ceiling, push your chest out, forwards. So we switch our feet, then we switch. So just like big, slow switches with our feet, start to make the circles a bit bigger. And when you kind of lean back, lean on your hands so that you can keep your balance. So it's not about balance now, this is about making big circles. Good, now next one, we're going to do like a crescent kick. Okay, an outward crescent kick and an inward crescent kick. So everybody puts their right foot on the outside. Let me show you first. Your right foot is going to go close to the ground. It's going to be like a kick this way. Goes close to the ground, it goes up. See how close my foot goes up to my head before it goes outward? The second foot follows, goes up close to my head, and you want your feet hitting the ground on the other side as close to your head as you can, and then you push up. Let's go. And then the opposite way. So foot close to the ground, it sweeps up towards your head, the other foot follows, and then we push up. And just working side to side like this. So use your arms to push up. Try to work slowly and have both legs do the biggest circle possible. Good. Now, put our right leg on the ground like this. Put our left one in front. And not sinking down, our body tall. And we switch. And then we switch again. And we just keep switching like this. And every time you switch, body tall. Now this time switch, keep your feet there, and you roll forward. So keep your heel on the ground, don't let this knee sink in. We sit on one foot and we push your knee out over our toes, and then we switch again. So you lift up your bum, you push your knee forwards. So I'm not sitting on the ground anymore. We roll down, and we switch. We switch again. And we switch again. Now, as we sit down, put our feet out like this, as wide as we can, and then we pull one foot in. And then we switch. Now see, this second foot, it's not here, it's pointing the opposite angle. So like when you're sitting here, just with your foot pulled in, and we switch again. You keep switching. At the same time, as you switch, try to make the angle between your legs wider, or just get a little bit more of a stretch. Now, this time, you pull the foot in the same, but the other one doesn't just kick out, now it circles out like this. So you want to make the biggest circle you can and sit up tall as you do it. Let's go. Just keep working. So big circles. Try not to lean back too far. Try to get that foot up nice and nice. You should kind of feel it on the top of your hip, the front of your hip. Good. Now, from here, bring your feet to the side. Have our hands up. And you're going to switch your feet in front. So switch legs side to side. So you can see the way your hips are turning over, guys. Now it's like you're doing a side kick or a turning kick. That's the position that your leg moves into. And you want to be able to do that while keeping your body tall. Now keep your feet on the right side. Take your right hand, catch your right foot. You kick out in front. Bring your foot back. And again, try not to lean, try to keep your body tall. We kick out, straighten your knee, all the way. Then bring our foot back. Out, and then back. Now kick your feet over to the opposite side. Take our left hand, kick out, and come back. Good. Now, this time, take your 2 feet in front and pick up our feet. Start to make little circles. So circles here. Good. Hold your feet in the middle. Make your right knee straight. If it's tough, hold your toes. If it's okay, hold the ball of your foot. If it's easy, hold your heel. But the most important thing is push that knee out and lock your knee out straight. Come back in and we switch sides. We switch. We switch. Switch. Now 2 at the same time. Knee straight. Back in again. Now, look, see, do I have my knees are here, my arms are in the middle. Catch your feet with your knees on the outside of your elbows. Now, don't let go of your feet, straighten your legs a little bit. Put your knees on the inside of your arms. And switch again. And switch again. And keep switching. See that? So you're not letting go of your feet. Arms in the center, knees in the center. So you're just turning your hips a little bit in and out. Good. Now, toes forwards, fingers backwards. Guys, I'll just turn a little bit at an angle. We know this drill, we make our tabletop. Okay, so lift up, push your hips to the ceiling as high as possible. And come back down. Now, when you do it this time, to help push your hips a bit higher, squeeze your butt, and then that'll help you push your hips a little bit higher. So ready, let's go. So squeeze your glutes, push your hips a little bit higher, and then we come back down. Make sure your fingers are pointing backwards so we can stretch a little bit on our chest as well. Let's go again. And we drop back down, and again. And down. Now guys, we go for our back, lock out our knee, head on the ground, and just hold that hamstring stretch. So our knee is locked, pull your toes towards your shin. So it doesn't matter so much how far your leg comes back. The most important thing is keeping that knee straight. So everybody can move their legs to their head by bending your knee. Try to keep good technique, knee straight, and then just pull into a bit of a stretch. Just hold it there. We change sides, and we pull into a little bit of a stretch. And we switch again. And we switch again. Now, put down our hands, straighten your knees. We lower one foot to the ground. Stop it before it gets there. We come back up. And then we switch. Let's see, guys. So only one foot moving at a time. So as your right leg goes down, your left leg doesn't move. It comes back up. And we switch. And as your leg gets close to the ground, pull the other one in the opposite direction. And use your nose to breathe. Don't hold your breath. So this should be kind of tough, which is okay. Good, take a rest. We'll do another set in a moment. Now, when you're doing it this time, I want you to squeeze your midsection, your stomach, okay? So imagine, guys, somebody's going to kick you, inspiring the stomach. You tense your muscles in your stomach so you don't feel it so much. So straighten your knees, tense their midsection. Let's go again. Keep tension your midsection. We'll breathe with our nose. Good. Now we sit up. Guys, point your toes more or less forward. So you don't need to be perfectly forward like ready stance. If you turn it out a little bit, put our feet about shoulder distance and walk your hands forwards and come up to this squat position here. Now use your elbows to push up your knees. Keep your chest forward, don't sink down. Your weight on your heels. Hands on the floor, walk your hands out. Stop when you're in that press position with your knees straight, shoulders over our wrists. Don't dip in the middle. Now, keep our knees low, walk back, come back to the squat, up tall. Hands behind. At the back, let's go guys, push our hips out. And we drop down, walk forwards, and come back to here. Push our knees out. Hands on the floor, walk out. Hold that position. Let's just stay here for a moment. David, are you still in the squat or are you walking out? Let's go. Walk back. And just sit in that squat for a little while. Push out your knees, sit tall. So this is the most important part of doing squats, is being able to get into this position. Going up and down to make your legs strong is important, but the movement part is more important first than the actual number of squats we do. So like we said before, if you find it hard to hold something heavy here in front, okay, or hold on to something like a door handle, and just sit here for a little while. Put your hands behind. Push your hips out again at the top, squeeze your glutes, push your hips as high as possible. Drop down again, let's walk into the squat again. Hands in front, walk forwards, and just stay there in that plank for a moment. So knees straight, straight line from shoulder to ankle. So as you get tired, your hips want to drop, you need to squeeze your stomach, squeeze your legs, don't let your body move. So we have to be strong to hold in the same position. And we relax. Now, guys, what we're going to look at today is kicking, but before we get there, okay, I want to do some punches because it's going to be relevant to what we do in a little while. So we'll stand up and we're going to do what I call white belt punches, okay? So shoulders forward, punch in the center, no sine wave, just switch as fast as you can, okay? Hold the hand to your belt, punch the other one forward as fast as you can, ready? Come on. Go. Set. Net. Guys, as powerful as you can. At the moment of impact, squeeze all the muscles in your body tight. Dasa. Yasa. Ilga. Yaro. El. Yo. Now, guys, I want you to go again. This time, go so strong. Let your body turn. Let your shoulders turn. Just hit as hard as you can. Punch this hand forward. Pull the arm back. Don't. Technique now doesn't matter. It's all about pure power. Ready? Anna. Do. Set. Net. Dasa. Stronger. Get our body turning. Yasa. Ilga. Yaro. Stronger, guys. Faster. Up. Yo. Now, this time, do nice looking punches. So let's not think about power. Let's just think about punch being center, our shoulders not moving, our hand coming to our belt. So you're going to relax, raise, drop like this. Ready? And do. So take power out so your shoulders don't move and everything is perfect. Set. Net. Dasa. Yasa. Ilga. Good, and relax. Now, guys, why we want to practice that? When you go with no power, you can do a nice looking move, okay? But it's not very effective and it's not going to make you strong. And in competition, you lose all the points for power. As you're doing the individual movements, the referee will be pressing the button, you'll be losing 0.2. And at the end, they take 2 full points away because it's not enough power, even though it looks nice. When we were like this, and we were turning, you were getting loads of power, but the movement's a bit sloppy, okay? So your arms and your shoulders make that power with your punch. The muscles here in your body and in your legs and the back of your legs is what puts the brakes on. Okay, so I said to you guys before, and I always say to the white belt, imagine me with a dog, a big dog is pulling them forwards. If you're strong, you can use the muscles here to stop yourself being pulled forward and keep that position. It's the same when we do our plank. Gravity wants to pull you to the ground, but the strong muscles stop that happening. Now we're going to take the same idea and we're going to go to front snap kick. Okay, so if you don't think about technique, when you kick strong with this leg, boom, it wants to pull you forwards. So you have to be strong with your body and your leg to make sure at the moment of impact, watch, this standing foot, your toes, your knee, your hips, all face forwards. You lift and kick. If you go full power, but you don't look at technique, this happens. If you just flick out your leg with no power, it's here. So we want the balance, power, but keep technique. So we need to be strong with our body. So what you're going to do, front snap kick, relax, raise, drop forwards. Okay. Ready, everybody? Jumpy. Let's step right foot back. Anna. Front snap kick and a step forwards. Anna. Through. Opposite foot back. Do. Opposite foot back. We'll kick again. Now let's add in a punch. One punch. Anna. Opposite foot back. So kick strong. Guys, imagine the board there you're trying to break, but don't let this foot or this hip turn. Ready? Anna. Strong. And punch. Opposite side. Go. Now, green belts, blue tags, you're going to add 2 fast motion punches, like in Do-san, like in Yogak. So you're going to kick, boom, relax, raise, drop, raise, drop. So no relax in the second one. Blue belts and red tags, you're working for take 8. So watch what you're going to do. Boom. Kick, relax, raise, drop, relax, raise, drop. So you're going to do 2 normal speed. So this is what green belts and blue tags will look like. You'll kick. Red tags and blue belts. Like this. Okay, so fast motion for the lower grades, normal motion for the higher grades. Ready? Jumbi. So let's all go together. Ready? Right foot back into walking stand. C-jerk. So it's going to be right, left for everybody. Anna. So for blue belts and red tags, remember 1 and a stop, then a relaxed raise drop. Ready? Burrow. Left foot back. Ready? Do. Same again. Anna. Make sure, blanket, you kick, whatever foot you kick with that hand is the first punch. Burrow. Right foot back. C-jerk. Right, left. So it should, for lower grades, green belts, blue tag, it's kick, boom, boom. For higher grades, it's kick, punch, relax, raise, punch. Ready to be. Anna. Rosie, just wait a pause, then do your second punch. So think it's just like, even though there are punches that are, like normally they'd be together, they're 2 separate movements. Ready? Burrow. Opposite foot behind. Ready? C-jerk. Anna. So I'm on my screen, I can see green belts and blue tags, and I can see blue belts. Sometimes because I'm far away, I don't know which is which. So I need to be able to see very clearly. Green belts should be hum, hum. Blue belt should be here. Ready? Should be one more time. Anna. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Right foot back. Ready? C-check. Anna. Make sure, Charlie, that standing foot doesn't move. Burrow. Now, burrow. Good. So, guys, we'll go to the wall. We're going to do kicking. And what we're doing at the wall today, we'll do our normal stuff first, and it's going to relate to that in a moment, because we're going to look at the kicks down from Wonyo, Yogak, Jungung. Okay, and also there are kicks actually in the black belt grading. Okay, so let's go to the wall. Hand on the wall, body tall. Now, guys, I say this with the cups class. Okay, everybody lift your foot up. Just do a slow leg swing. Let me see. See the way you're just lifting your leg. You're not creating any extra space with your kick. You need to swing your leg. Okay, use momentum, and that's what drags your foot a bit harder. Okay, so let's swing your heel to the ceiling. Heels touch every time. Ready? Do. Set. Keep your body up tall. Net. 2 eyes, look at your kick. Jasa. Yasa. Ilga. Yellow. Up. Yo. 5 more. Anna. Do. Set. Net. Dasa. And we change the opposite side, so body tall. Same again, the opposite foot. Anna. Do. Again, swing your foot up. Sit. Net. Dasa. Yasa. Ilga. Yellow. Eha. Yo. Anna. Do. Set. Net. Dasa. Now, we're going to do turning kick, and you're going to do it in 3 parts. The first part, watch, you're going to lift, so I'll turn towards you guys so you can see. You're going to lift your chamber 1, then you stop. Then what you're going to do, lift a little bit higher, then kick. So when I lift my foot the first time, here, that's comfortable. I stop it there, and then I'm able to pull it just a little bit harder. Now that's tough. I can feel that in my hip. It's not painful, but like it feels like my hip is working. That's where it's getting stronger. That's where I want to kick. Because after a while, if you work like that, and you lift your leg up straight away, that's where it will go. Okay, so ready? Hand on the wall. It's just 1 kick at a time. Lift up 1. Lift a little bit higher, and turn a kick. Go ahead and put our foot down. So lift up high. Go a little bit higher. Boom, and kick. And down. Again, lift up. Get a little bit more. Boom, and kick. Same again. Lift up. Lift that little bit higher. Boom, and kick. Again, lift up. A little bit higher. Boom, and kick. Change legs. Ready? Lift up. Go a little bit higher. And kick. Same again. Lift up. A little bit higher. And kick. And again, up. Pull the hip higher. And kick. Switch again, do 2 kicks. So what you're going to do, lift up, pull your foot a little bit higher, boom, boom, 1, 2, and then drop it. Ready? Lift up, bit higher, kick, kick, and down. So that little bit extra before you kick is crucial. Lift up your knee, get our chamber up, go that little bit higher, 1, 2. Again, up, higher, 1, 2. Again, up, higher, 1, 2. And one more time. Up. Keep your body facing where we kick. Pull a bit higher and kick. 1, 2. Change sides. Ready? Body tall. Lift up. A little bit higher. 1, 2. Guys, do you feel like your hips are working? Do you feel like you're getting a bit tired? That's what it should feel like, okay? Ready? So lift up. Lift a bit higher. 1, 2. So gravity is pulling your leg down. You're resisting gravity, and that's what's making your legs stronger. So ready, we lift up, a bit higher, 1, 2. Again, ready, lift up, higher, 1, 2. Do I really feel this, guys? I hope you are feeling the same. Ready, lift up, 1, higher, 2, 3. Okay, now, when you pivot into Taekwondo, what part of your foot do you pivot on? Somebody shout out, Alex. Ball of the foot. Yeah, very simple. A white belt question. So it's not a trick question. Guys, that comes into play when we do side kick. So when we're doing front kick, look, watch. Front kick, your toes are forward. When you land, your foot is forward. So your foot is forward before you kick, while you kick, and after you kick. So you don't need to pivot. But when you do side kick, watch what happens to this foot on the ground. It's forwards. It turns nearly backwards. I kick. And then it turns to the side. So it has to turn 3 times. There's been 3 different positions: forwards, backwards, and sideways at the end. So we're going to go to the wall and we're going to work on that. We're going to work with Gabriel. So I'm going to show you guys first, and then we're going to work on this. Now this is going to be tough, okay? I said to the blue belts a while ago that, and the red tags, nobody will get a red tag easy. It'll be tough to get it, but that makes it worth something. So watch what we're going to do. You're going to make side kick here, and then you're going to bring your foot back in. Now everybody look at my standing leg. Watch. Side kick. Watch when I bring my foot back in. See how it rotates. Side kick. Rotate. All we're going to look at first now is the part where it comes down. So I don't really care how your foot gets up. So ready? Hand on the wall. Other hand up. Kick out side kick. So your toes are facing the wall. And pivot back to here. Now, you're going to pivot. Point your foot sword and kick. Ready? 1. Point your foot sword that way. Kick. Pivot back in. Let's go again. Pivot, foot sword points. Kick. Pivot back. And again, pivot, point of foot sword. Kick. Pivot back. Pivot, point of foot sword. Kick. Pivot back. Let's change legs. So the opposite side. So we're here. You're going to pivot. So see how my toes are pointing that way. When I kick, they're going to face the wall. And watch this knee is going to come. See the big circle I make. So my foot doesn't just turn over here to a bad side kick. It makes a big circle. Ready? Pivot. Kick. Pull our knee back. And rotate back. So pivot as we make our chamber. Kick. Rotate back. Pivot. Kick. Rotate back. Pivot. Kick. Rotate back. Okay, let's go, guys. Keep going. Pivot. Kick. Rotate back. Now, relax for a moment. Okay, we're going to do another set of that. Now, guys, are your legs feeling tired? Really? They should be. Okay, if not, you can kick higher. Okay, so imagine the hardest kick you could do, or the most work you could do, it would be like 10 out of 10. Okay, this should be about 8 out of 10, so it should be fairly tough. Okay, so watch, let me show you a couple more times. You're going to be here. We know from when we're white belts, it's only a side kick when your foot sword points and your foot sword kicks. We pivot, point our foot sword. As you're doing that, watch the foot on the ground, it rotates. You kick, and then you go back. Ready? Let's go. 1, high chamber, foot sword pointing. 2, pivot back. Ready? 1, 2, pivot back. 1, 2, pivot back. 1, 2, pivot back. Let's switch legs to the opposite side. So, as the wall is just giving us a bit of assistance, so we can focus on that pivoting so our hips can work properly. So, ready? Point the foot sword as we pivot that foot on the ground. Ready? Pivot. Point the foot sword. Kick out. Pivot back. 1. High chamber, but keep our body. Kick out. 2. Pivot back. So the pivot and the chamber are happening together. Pivot. Kick. Pivot back. Again. Pivot and kick. Kick out. Pivot back. Okay. Now, let's go back to what we were doing earlier, guys. I have a question, so think of the answer. You know when you do front snap kick, and then you do relaxed raise drop back to your stance. Why do you do that? Why do you do a relaxed raise drop after you kick? The next movement, to create power with the next movement. This doesn't matter whether you're doing patterns or sparring. The idea is the same, okay? If you kick somebody, you don't want to fall into your punch. You want to keep good control. So like we were saying, you want to create power with your kick, but the power wants to pull you forward. So you have to kick, keep your balance, and land and punch with power. Patterns is the same. I could kick and just fall, and the weight of my body coming forward is just what makes the power. But we want to kick, okay, and punch. Now front kick is easy, because look where my foot is. Toes are forwards. I kick, relax, raise, drop, and my foot is still forwards. Side kick is more difficult. Remember we said earlier, toes will be forward, toes will be kind of sideways, they'll be backwards, they'll be sideways again. So it's moving all over the place when we do side kick, okay? So let's see how our foot turns as we do side wave. So this is thinking of the next movement. So look, when I'm here, toes are sideways. I pivot, toes are backwards. I kick, now I'm going to relax, raise, drop, and go to L stance, knife and guarding lock. Guys, what's a sine wave? Tell me the 3 words. Relax, raise, drop. Okay? Watch what happens with my foot at each stage. So watch here. So after I kick, 1 when I relax, my foot pivots. Where is my foot now? Can anyone tell me? When I've relaxed. Where is it? It's in the position that it needs to be for L stance. Then I can raise, and I can drop, boom, and that foot doesn't need to move. Does that make sense? You see what I mean? So sometimes what happens is people relax, they raise, they leave the foot, then they've got this little stumble, and they lose a point in the competition, or they just lose their balance when they're kicking. So what does your foot do when you relax? It goes to the position where it needs to be for the next stance. So watch, you kick, you relax, foot is now in position. Raise, drop. Does that make sense, guys? Do you see what I mean? So you're going to, after you kick, relax, raise, drop. When you relax, your foot will go to position. That gives you a base. where you can raise and drop with a good strong standing leg. Let's practice again. So go to the wall. Make a burrito sugi. We won't care about our hands at the moment. Pivot, pointed foot sword. 1. See that your foot is turned. Hold your kick out now. 2. When you relax, pivot your foot. So your foot now should be where it needs to be for side kicks. So you relax now. So here, raise, hands up, backward motion, drop. Good. Come back to here. Pivot and pointed foot sword. Side kick. Relax. Foot has pivoted to where it needs to be. So that foot's not going to move again. Raise, drop. Good. What time are we at? How long ago? Good. So we'll do some stretching again. Let's go again. So come back to here. Pivot, point the foot sword. Kick out. Relax, foot pivots to where it's going to be. Raise, drop. Good. Let's change the legs. Up to the side. So come to our Gaburya Sugi. Pivot and chamber. When I look how high this chamber is, that's what we want. Body open, chamber high. Kick out and hold 2. See the way the foot, you can see my heel, my toes are facing away. When I pull this side kick back in and I relax, pivot on the ball of the foot, get that foot to L stance position. Relax, raise, drop. Good. Back in. Pivot, point the foot sword, side kick, relax, foot pivots, raise, drop. Good. Come back in again. Pivot, point the foot sword, kick. Now when you pivot, when you pull this foot in, pivot your hip. Pivot, raise, drop. Okay. Do you think we can do it away from the wall? Yeah. So watch what we're going to do. You're going to be in L stance. So your foot is sideways. You're going to go from here. 1, 2, pivot, 3. So from here, front foot comes back to Gaburya Sugi. You're going to pivot and side kick. Relax, pivot your foot back, raise and drop. Ready, guys? L stance, 준비. 하나, 둘, 하나, 둘, 하나. All you're focusing, guys, is that PC. 둘. The opposite side, so opposite foot back. 하나, 둘. So really focus on that pivot. When you come to Gaburya Sugi, your toes are sideways. As you kick, you pivot the foot away. When you relax, it comes back to where it's going to be for the next stance. 둘. Set. We'll keep going, guys. I want to watch you. Ready? 하나, 둘. Bro, opposite foot behind. Ready? CJ. 하나. Front foot comes back. 둘. Make sure standing leg is straight. Good. And again. 하나. 둘. 하나. 둘. 하나. 둘. Good. Okay. So guys, the next one that we'll work on it next week more, is from Mule Gok, where we've done elbow afterwards. Can anybody tell me why is that tougher than what we've just done? So in Mule Gok, you do the side kick, but instead of making a knife and guarding block, you land and do an elbow strike. One of the blue belts or red tags. Guys, why do you think that's tougher than what we've just done there? Who said that? Donica, there you are. I couldn't see it. You're outside. Okay, so you have to land in walking stance. Exactly. That's what makes it tougher. Why does that make it tougher? Exactly. So here's my foot. I do side kick, this foot turns backwards. And when I bring my side kick back in, the foot just has to turn to the side for L stance. But for side kick, or for walking stance, this foot, standing foot, has to turn all the way back around. So let me show you. Maybe it's better you see my feet. So look, you're doing your gok. You come here, boom, simple enough. You kick the side kick, your foot is away. Now, if this was one yoke, your foot just needs to turn to there. But for your gok, it has to pivot all the way around, the toes forward. So you have to kick and you have to pivot all the way around, boom, so you can do that elbow strike. So guys, we need very, very good control. Now, do you know the great thing about this training? It benefits everything. You get stronger hips, you get stronger kicks, you get better balance, works in patterns, but also in sparring, okay? All the black belts, the top competitors in patterns are always excellent kickers for sparring, because sparring kicking is much easier than patterns kicking. So you can just kick and let your leg fall. Patterns are to kick, keep your balance and recover, so it transfers really well into sparring kicking as well, okay? Now, because we'll do some stretching, okay? So, we'll start with our side stretch. So, walk our feet out to the side, we know the drill, as far as we can. And put our hands to the floor and then walk your feet out even more side to the side. Now this should be tough, guys. Like we said, we won't get our next grade easy, but that's not a bad thing. We can all get there. We just have to work for it. So we're weight on our heels, knees straight. Just rock forwards and back a small bit. Now when I say go, you imagine that your legs are like a giant pair of scissors. You just squeeze the ground with the scissors. Okay, ready? Go. Squeeze. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And push your foot out a little bit more. Now lean your hand down and let me see properly. Good. Lean on our hands. Just rock a little bit kind of back and forwards. So move a little bit in the stretch. And again, ready? We're going to squeeze now. Ready? Go. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And push out a little bit more. Now, guys, you hear my voice when I'm counting. Sounds like it's tough. It's because it is tough because I'm doing the same work as you guys. So it should be that tough when you're stretching. It's hard for me to count because I'm squeezing the ground so much with my legs. Now rock a little bit back and forward. Let's go again. Ready? Go. 7, 6, squeeze the ground. 4, 3, 2, 1. And push a little bit more. Just rock forwards and back. Is it tough? Good. And gently watch, guys. Bring your hands over. We sit back, sit up tall, and don't let our feet come in. So your legs will kind of naturally move back in. Fight that. Keep them where they are. Push out a little bit more even if you can. And just sit here. Keep your body tall. So guys, there's two parts of Taekwondo training I always think. One is getting ready for the next event. And the other one is improving for the long term. That's the more important one. And if we were training normally now, we'd be getting ready for a tournament in Limerick. And that would be important, but wouldn't be as important as long-term training. So now, because there's no tournament in Limerick, that means the focus is purely on long-term. Getting better at kicking, getting better at your patterns for your next grade, for your black belt down the line, improving some things with sparring, okay? So this is going to make us a better black belt. Just I always say after competitions, it's fantastic when people do well, but the most important thing for me is who's improving, okay, long term, okay? And usually people who improve long term are people who do well in tournaments as we go forward in time. But the next event isn't the most important, it's where you're going, okay? So even though we can't do tournaments at the moment, we can't do a tournament, don't think that we're missing out too much because we have to shift our focus, and you're shifting your focus now to being a black belt. Okay, push out our feet a little bit more if you can. Now take our hands in front and walk our feet out. Or walk our fingers out. So what you'll do, walk your fingers out. You'll stop when it's really tough, and you'll stay there. Don't let them slide back in. Hold them there, and when it drops to get a little bit easier, bring our fingers out more. So ready, walk our fingers out. You hold. And every so often, walk them a little bit more.
You can get your elbows on the ground, that'd be fantastic.
I can.
Let's see, guys, keep going. It should be tough. Daniel, are you stretching? Now we come back in. So guys, this works if you put a lot of effort in. I'm doing this in every class now. And last week, I wasn't able to put my elbows on the ground anymore because I hadn't done it for a long time. Today I got it. Next go, head, and chest on the floor. Now, catch your foot, come over to the side. So chest towards your leg, not your head, your chest now. Up to the side. Now we come up. Oh, and bring your legs back in. That's tough. Bring the bottoms of your feet together and your knees up and down. Now, point your toes forward again. We're going to do some of those tabletops like we've done earlier. Lift your hips to the ceiling. At the top, squeeze your glutes, push out nice and high. A bit the same again. So push your hips, squeeze your butt, push your hips even higher. Come down. Same again. Let's go. And we come down. Okay, so good session on kicking. Okay. So we send texts out to all the green belts and blue tags parents about training. The blue belts and red tags, we're going to do that maybe tomorrow because we're maybe looking at something slightly different with yours. We'll be training online. But we may be able to do one session a month this month where you guys will do a personal training session with one of the black belts for the blue belts. And if that works out, then maybe for the green belt, you'll be able to do it a few weeks later. Hopefully we'll get back training together soon, but we might be able to do one session with the blue belt. So we'll text your mammies and daddies out about that, okay, the next couple of days. Also, while you guys are training here, I have another computer over here, which is filming the class, okay, and that's going onto YouTube. So it means that if you miss the class when it's on, you'll be able to do it later. But it's best if you can. So it's good if you miss it to come back and do it later. But if you can still do your sessions when they're on, that's best. It's great to have the whole team here because we help improve each other. But if you miss a session, then it just means that you're not losing out. You can do it afterwards. Okay, guys? So any questions before we finish? David, yes. We're going to, well, it's not going to be on a YouTube channel. We're going to make a page on our website and we'll send it out to your parents and then they'll be able to go on. You see the latest class and that'll change every week. So like today, maybe today or tomorrow, that'll go up as the latest class. And then next week, the latest class will be changed. Okay. So guys, we'll see everybody on, what day do you guys train? Tuesday, I think? Yeah. Okay. So guys, well done. Trip. Good night. Thank you guys. Well done. Good. Boom, boom, boom. High five to everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Well done. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.